Hello everyone, I'm Yogesh Panchal. Today we are going to be learn about stress strain response. Means the behavior of stress strain curve. In stress strain response, we will see elastic deformation, non-elastic deformation, and plastic deformation. Before the graph stress versus strain, we must understand the basic property of the material, that is stress and strain. Stress means it is the resistance set up by the molecules of the material to the deformation due to the application of external force. So force by area, but the area is always perpendicular to line of action of force. So that ratio is known as stress. And what is strain? It is the deformation per unit length of the body. It is also called the axial strain, linear strain, or longitudinal strain. Mathematically, epsilon strain, epsilon is equal to change in the length by original length. Okay. So when we applied the load on the rod, okay, the force is tensile. So by applying the tensile force, the length of the rod is increased by delta L. Okay. So this change in length by original length is known as strain. Now this is a very important law, Hooke's law. The Hooke's law states that when a material is loaded within its elastic limit, the stress is proportional to strain. Okay. Stress is proportional to strain, and when we put one constant E, that E is known as modulus of elasticity. Okay? Its unit is Newton per mm square or mega Newton per meter square, or you can say gigapascals. So stress versus strain, the graph is goes in the linear manner. Okay, so the graphs up to the end of the linear behavior, that is known as elasticity, and Hooke's law is valid up to the elastic limit. So whenever we find the behavior of stress versus strain, we make one specimen of the material and it is fixed at the universal testing machine, and when we apply the tensile force on particular cross section area, we will get the stress, and by changing the length we will get the strain. Okay, so as you shown in figure, this is our original length, and after applying the tensile force, the length is increased by this much, and the cross section area is reduced. Okay, and at the end, at particular breaking load, the specimen will break. Okay, so let us see the graph of stress versus strain. Okay, it starts from O. Okay, when we increase the load, stress will increase and strain will increase, but it goes up to A in the linear motion or linear behavior. So OA is known as elastic region, stress to strain ratio is constant, straight line, follow the Hooke's law, and it is elastic zone where our specimen is like this. Now from A to B, where the stress to strain ratio is not constant, okay, and it is also perfectly elastic, but at point B, this is the end of elastic point. Now from B to C, here the graph is in downward manner, means when we increase the strain, but stress is not increased. So B to C, it is a very small curve. Strain increases without any appreciable increase in the stress. That point is known as yield point. Okay, so this notch in the graph is known as yield point. Now C to D, it is a plastic region. When we increase the stress, the strain is increased. Okay, so the small amount of stress and big amount of strain, that zone is a plastic behavior. Okay, so plastic region, upward curve, it required higher values of stress for higher strain. Point D is known as ultimate tensile stress. Now D to E, again downward. So downward curve is a formation of necking. Okay, here you can see at this portion our specimen cross section area at the center is decreasing. So at point F, that is known as fracture point or breaking point. This point is fracture point, and at this stress, at this point is known as breaking stress. Stress strain curve for brittle material. Okay. In brittle material, there is no any plasticity. Okay, material such as glass that can be extended but do not show plastic deformation, and it will easily fracture, are known as brittle materials. So in brittle material, when we apply the tensile force, it breaks suddenly, there are no necking formation. Okay, so this type of material is brittle, and the behavior of the brittle material on stress versus strain curve is like this. This point is breaking point or fracture point. Now elastic and plastic region in stress strain curve. So in stress versus strain curve, at point B it is a yield point, and from O to B, below this curve, that area is known as elastic region, and from B to E, under this curve, that area or zone, plastic region. Okay, now stress versus strain curve for different material. For brittle material, there is only a straight line. Then second, strong material which is not ductile. Okay, in brittle material, when the strong brittle material, so there is a formation of small curve after the elastic zone. Okay, ductile material, as we discussed, that the behavior of the ductile material is like this. Okay, this is elastic zone and plastic zone. This is a break point, this is the ultimate tensile strength, this is the yield point, and this slope is elastic constant. And for plastic material, okay, for the huge strain, it required the low stress. Means when you apply a small load, the deformation of the polymer material or plastic material is goes in the very high manner. Here the stress strain curve for polymer actually. So stress versus strain in different polymer materials. Brittle polymer graph is straight line. There is no any yield point or plastic zone here. Now in plastic material, it behaves like a ductile material. An elastomer material, the graph in which the strain is increasing for the less amount of stress. Okay, and at the end of the breaking, okay, slightly more stress is required to increase the strain. Thank you for watching this video.